Greetings folks, it's Rob from 81632bit and today's video is something a little different. It's certainly not what I had planned, but it's something that's been bouncing around in my head for the last few weeks and it's just something I wanted to talk about, and as you've seen from the title, it's fanboys. You can also use the word fangirls, fan people, super fans, obsessed fans, whatever you want to call them. I'm just going to stick with fanboys for ease during this video. It's no slight against anyone's gender at all before anyone kicks off on that. You see, I've been running this channel for a few years now, and most of my videos would typically just get 100-ish views on average. There's the occasional one. There's a Pico 8 video that went over 3,000 views, and for some bizarre reason, the couple of videos comparing some games with no real commentary went into the multi-thousands. But generally speaking, the videos where you've got me talking like this about a subject did probably an average of 100 views per video. Well, since the start of 2024, the number of views my videos have gotten has increased quite substantially. I seem to have hit on something that the YouTube algorithm likes. It's promoted the videos and they've done well. You know, I've had more hits and more views on my videos since the start of 2024 than I had in all the previous years combined, pretty much, which, you know, is pretty impressive and left me feeling quite good about myself. Excuse me. But what this has also brought has been fanboys into the comments. Now, on one of the videos, I've had to block a commenter, specifically on the Atari ST video, because they were so insistently fanboy about everything that it was kind of boring, and they were attacking everyone who commented who wasn't of the opinion that the Atari ST was the superior machine to the Amiga. Now, me personally, I never had a dog in that fight. When people were buying Atari STs and Amigas, I still had my Spectrum, and then I'd moved over to the Master System and Mega Drive. So, I'm not really fussed. I can admit that on a technical level, the Amiga was the better piece of hardware, but there were times when the ST outdid it. This has always been the case. Same with the C64 and the Spectrum, as I showed in a video. Same with the ColecoVision, the Atari 2600, SNES and Mega Drive, you name it. There's always going to be a technologically superior machine which occasionally gets beaten by a technologically inferior machine. It's just the way these things are. Now, the fanboys come out and this thing all gets really messy. Why? Because the fanboys start going on and on and on about their preferred platform, like it's really important. And bear in mind, these are videos I'm doing and you're watching this, so you know, these are videos about machines that are 20, 30, 40, nearly 50 years old. And there are people out there that get so het up about someone else's opinion on the internet, they have to go on the attack over it. Let's just step back and look at that. I did the video about the Spectrum games that were better than the Commodore 64 versions. There's a couple of comments on that from some clear Commodore fanboys who refuse to accept that the Spectrum versions are better and are a bit, obviously, angry about me saying this. This is 40-year-old computers. I mean, for the love of God, people, step away from the keyboard, go outside, get some fresh air, touch grass, as they say these days. These kind of arguments were fine when we were all 9, 10, 11, 12 years old in the school playground on our breaks, discussing who had the better games, whose computer was better, whose console was better. But when you're a middle-aged man, and whilst I did mention at the start of the video, fangirls, fan people, whatever you want to say, it's generally middle-aged men getting angry about something from 40 bloody years ago. It's ludicrous. these are games and machines that it doesn't impact your life today. What harm is it doing if I say, you know what, I prefer the Spectrum version of Chase HQ to the Commodore 64 version of Chase HQ? The game itself is over 30 years old. It was released over 30 years ago. Who gives a shit? Realistically, it's not hurting you. It's not damaging your childhood memories, which is another favourite one from the fanboys. When something or somebody says something that disrupts their perfect image in their head of how what they love is the best and their opinion's right and everyone else is wrong. And I think these fanboys, they're generally bad for any kind of hobby scene, not just the retro gaming scene. You see it in things like role-playing games, in, you know, media franchise fandoms. You get these fanboys who become intense gatekeepers of what they love, and they just refuse to accept anything that steps outside of their personal opinion on it. And it puts people off. They think they're protecting what they love, that they're keeping it pure, that they're defending the faith, being truthful and speaking truth to power about what they love. And all they're doing is alienating people, putting people off. You know, these people that have a differing view but may still be interested in this thing, and they come across these obsessive, aggressive fanboys and just think, nah, I'm done with this. I'm going to find something else to fill my time with. And it needs to stop. It doesn't help, of course, that there are some people in all fandoms that stoke this behaviour. There are people in the retro fandom who stoke this behaviour. Indeed, I'm 99.9% sure, having discussed this with people, that the fanboy on the Atari videos was a very notorious UK-based retro personality who in the past has made some outlandish claims about what he's been involved with and what he does. And the straw that brought the camel's back is a now deleted comment where he claimed that all the information about how popular the Amiga was and how much it sold and how much the Atari ST sold was a lie, because he was told this because he'd randomly bumped into Jack Tramiel in Germany in 1989 and Jack had told him the truth. That indicated it could only be one person. I'm not going to name them, but I'll just give you the initials KH. And this person has adopted a Scottish title for his channel, so I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. But people like that, they stoke this fanboy behaviour by attacking and being fanboys, and they encourage other fanboys to behave in the same way. And frankly, it's bullshit and it needs to stop. I know it's like, oh, woe is me, my video's popular and now I have to deal with idiots. But nobody should have to deal with these people, especially not people who are just there to enjoy the content. I love retro gaming. I don't care what platform it is. I have the ones that I grew up with, the C16, the Spectrum, the Master System, the Mega Drive. They were the platforms of my youth and I love them. But I don't fanboy them. I can hold my hands up and say, hey, look, I love my Spectrum. This game was great, but the Commodore 64 version was better. I could play games on my Master System or Mega Drive and go, hey, you know what? The NES and the SNES versions were better. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't damage my childhood. It doesn't make me any less of a fan of those games. It just means I've grown. I'm not obsessed. I don't feel the need to obsessively defend something to that level. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with being passionate about something you love. Heaven knows I am passionate about what I love. I am really passionate, for example, about the Splatterhouse games and the video game Night Trap. I love those games. I'm passionate about them. I will defend them but I will accept and acknowledge their flaws. I'm passionate about my horror films, but I accept that most of the films I'm really passionate about, when you look at them objectively as pieces of cinematic art, they're trash. And it's fine. It doesn't upset me if someone says, hey Rob, Night Trap, that game, it sucks. For a lot of people it does, and that's a perfectly valid opinion. I don't become all Night Trap fanboy and berate them about how wrong they are. It's just not worth it. So come on people, we're talking about decades old stuff, and we're all middle-aged people here, or most of us are anyway, who get involved in this. Let's just, man, let it go. Because, you come onto the comments of my videos and fanboy, I'll just block you. Constructive criticism's fine, but going after myself and other people who were commenting and happen to agree with me and insisting that you're right and everyone else is wrong, ain't gonna fly, my friends. Anyway, this has been a little bit rambly and I do apologise for that, but it's something I really wanted to talk about and it's something I wanted to get off my chest. And yeah, this is Rob. This is 81632-bit. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. If you happen to agree with me, hit that like button. If listening to this has made you curious about my other videos and what I've got to say, hit subscribe, walk through the videos on the channel. And like I said, if you don't agree with me, feel free to comment. I'm not going to have a go if you think I'm wrong. But please, don't be aggressive about it if I disagree with you or someone else steps in and says, actually, no, I disagree. As we often say at my job, think about being a good person is don't be a dick. Anyway, this is Rob. This is 81632-bit, and I'll see you on the next video.